flowers where flowers due. I want to give the dedicated time to give these flowers, and also to pat myself on the back. I'm gonna find a way to get me in here. But DaRon Bland, this is a guy who, at the start of the season, he was coming in as playing your nickel corner. He's playing the slot guy in nickel packages. You had Trayvon Diggs on one side, you had the grizzled old vet Stephon Gilmore on the other side, and you had DaRon Bland coming in playing the slot. Well, a couple weeks into the season, at practice, Trayvon Diggs goes down and he's out for the year with a torn ACL. And a lot of you, not all of you, but a lot of you, that's it. This defense is done. We're going to get cooked. We're going to get torched. DaRon Bland can't hold up. And I remember telling you all, take a deep breath. Relax. Do you replace Trayvon Diggs? No. Can you adjust to his absence? Yes. In the first year, I watched DaRon Bland do things from a cornerback's perspective of being able to cover and then break on the football. But when the football was in play, he made himself the receiver. And you go back to his first year where he had 5 interceptions. He wasn't like it weren't tip passes they were falling to him, like he was taking them away. Like he was having takeaways where he was going to get the football. In this game, it wasn't a back and forth game. It never felt like the Panthers were ever in control of the game, but it was tight. It was tight. It was a 1-2 score game a lot of the game. And then the floodgates opened up. After DaRon Bland, when you go back and you watch the play, you just watch him. They're running a crossing route across the field, and he's actually beat. Bryce goes to throw the ball, throws it a little bit behind, but the way that he accelerates, keeps his eye on the ball, reaches in, takes the ball, goes back and scores a touchdown, and things begin to go in the Cowboys' favor for real. Broke this up. But I want to give you a little bit of perspective of what DaRon Bland has done in his very short NFL career. Remind you, he hasn't even gotten through 2 seasons. This is the second half of season 2. The second half of season 2. Right now, DaRon Bland has 11 career interceptions. He's only halfway through season 2. And he still has quarterbacks like Sam Howell, who he has to play. Sam Howell had 6. The Commanders had 6 turnovers last game. Sam Howell was responsible for 3 interceptions. You got Geno Smith after that. He's susceptible to give you one. Jalen Hurts. Then you have the interception king, the turnover king. You have Josh Allen. He'll give you 2. And then you end with Jared Goff. And if you watched him play yesterday, you go, wait, Jared Goff will give you 2 too. Also. So even now, with 11 interceptions in a year and a half, with 5 games where most of those quarterbacks in those games are prone to give interceptions. There were 9 DBs that were taken in the draft, the 2022 draft, ahead of DaRon Bland. The nine combined together, all of them have 13 interceptions total. He has 11 by himself in a season and a half. 9 other dudes combined in a season and a half have 13. Give you some more DaRon Bland stats. And this stat comes from, I want to give credit. This comes from Brandon Laurie. He said the cornerback DaRon Bland has played in 27 regular season games. During that time, he has 92 tackles, 11 interceptions, 19 passes defended, 4 defensive touchdowns, 550 snaps inside the slot, 589 snaps outside. Where would that put him in the quarterback range? And where does he stand in the quarterback range right now in 2023? He's first in PFF defensive grade at 91.1. He's first in top coverage grade at 90.9. He's first in interceptions. He has 6 total. 4 of those are touchdowns. He's first in passer rating allowed, 29.9. Oh, by the way, he has 4 touchdowns this year. There are only 20 receivers. I didn't stutter, and I didn't make a mistake. There are only 20 receivers in the National Football League 20 that have more than DaRon Bland. More touchdown receptions than DaRon Bland. Think about that. 20 receivers in the entire National Football League have more receiving touchdowns than DaRon Bland. This kid is playing lights out football, and he's not even a 2-year veteran in the NFL. He is calm. He is cool. He is even keeled. He is a hawk when the ball is in the air. If he has a chance to get his hands on it, he's going to take it. When they interviewed him last night, Aaron Andrews interviewed him on side, he said, well, I attribute some of that to my high school playing days where I played receiver. He honed some of his skills, his catching ability, playing receiver. This kid is good. This kid is good. And not only is this kid good, with the way that he's playing, 4 interceptions returned for touchdown this season ties him for the record in the NFL. With the way that he's played, I'm not saying he's at the top, but he's in the conversation now. If you give me the top 8, 9, maybe 10 candidates for Defensive Player of the Year, DaRon Bland's name is in there. It has to be. I know that we use Defensive Player of the Year as kind of a sack award, but what DaRon Bland is doing right now is unheard of. It's unheard of, and it should be applauded. His teammate, which I think sometimes goes hand in hand. When you have a good pass rush, you normally particularly have a good secondary. When you have a good secondary, you normally have a good pass rush. They're tied on a string together. If I can get to the quarterback and hurry the process or allow him to have a one read and one read only, now my DBs are able to sit on some routes, jump routes, the timing is thrown off, and we create turnovers. If I have good coverage on the back end, that means my quarterback, who we're rushing, if he doesn't have a receiver to throw it to, what does he have to do? He either has to tuck it and run, or he has to pat the ball for another second and a half, 2 seconds. And sometimes, especially when you have a guy like Micah Parsons chasing the quarterback, that's more than enough time. That's more than enough time. And they got after Bryce Young. I felt bad for the kid.